11 teams from 9 different nations descend on Cascais in Portugal, relishing the long-awaited return to big wins and big waves that the TP52s have been starved of for many years. Conditions here are often extreme. It's time for a week living on the edge. Cascais can be relentlessly tough, physically and mentally. But it's a pretty, charming, historic, fashionable seaside resort close to Lisbon. It's the midpoint, the halfway stage of the 5 regattas which comprise the world's leading Grand Prix monohull circuit, the 52 Super Series. There are 4 teams which have won the World Championship before. Defending champions are Gladiator. Platoon Aviation have 3 title wins. American Magic Quantum Racing have already won 7 world titles. But now it's a younger team and they're hungry for an 8th. But it's the 2021 World Champions Sled. Now they're maybe the crew which have been most vocal in looking forwards to big days on the Atlantic, and they deliver on their words, taking the early lead in just the kind of conditions everyone wanted.
Happy to be where we are. We would be happy to be here than somewhere else, but there's a long way to go and a lot of different conditions to come.
One team showing podium potential are the French on Paprec. But the Italian team, Alcedo Vitamina, which is new to the circuit only this year, come to Cascais fresh from a podium, a 3rd place in Bayona. But Cascais demands a whole new set of skills. It's a real baptism of fire in Portugal.
It's the first day in big waves of my life. So to me, everything was new. Difficult, very difficult, because I'm new of the class, new of the boat, new of those waves. It's not easy at all.
Lacorte comes from a background in 1 design classes, but he wants to test himself at the highest level.
The TP52 Super Series has always been my dream since many years. So I'm finally here. So to me, it's like a dream. And it's like, oh, I finally got there. These kind of boats are unbelievable. They're tremendously fast, tremendously responsive. It's absolutely outstanding. So it's like being on a dream and you finally wake up and say, oh, this is true.
Portugal's local hero, 4x470 Olympian Alvaro Marinho, who's the strategist on Alcedo, alongside Cameron Appleton, he really is relishing the chance to race on home waters with a team which is a potent mix of different cultures.
Yes, so far it's been a very solid group and we have been learning each other a lot. It's funny for the Americans to see how the Italians are playing not just on board but also off the boat. And they're just driving us into that mode. Very happy family, I would say.
The first 3 days of the World Championships see 3 different teams topping the leaderboard. First Sled, then American Magic, and then Paprec. But Alcedo sailed to a big win on day 2. It's a really emotional moment for the team. Behind the scenes, Lacorte's team are a close-knit group learning together on their first year on the circuit.
The interesting thing and the philosophy of the team is there's a big focus on everybody working together and coming together, because that's the biggest skill set we have is working together. We haven't got a lot of experience that some of the other teams have.
For the Alcedo team, success is what drives them forwards, but having fun is still key.
There is one expectation: keep having fun. Because if you keep having fun, for sure, you make a good regatta. Even if I know for sure that there's people here with more than 5 years, or more than 10 years sometimes, of experience in this class.
The Italian team get a 3rd on day 3 to climb onto the podium, but the French maintain a high level and actually they're leading the World Championship for their first time ever.
Unbelievable. I mean, I had a message from Jean-Luc. What's going on? I can't come on board tomorrow because if I'm bringing bad luck on the boat, so he's worried to come.
American Magic Quantum Racing and the French on Paprec are the most regular so far, but neither prove beyond costly errors. At the top mark of Saturday's 3rd race, they come into the top turn locked in combat, but they both run out of runway and have to bail out, a big costly error for both teams. At the same time, the Americans on Sled are on a charge, winning race 6 in style and then bolting on 2/3 to have their best day of the regatta so far. Alcedo streak to their 2nd race win, the only team to do so over the course of the week, and it's their 5th winning gun of the season so far. And going into the final day, they're knocking on the door of the podium. Once again, the world title goes down to the absolute wire on a very breezy, a complex arena which has moved slightly into the river to shelter from the pumping winds out to sea. Sunday's finale has some casino moments. Chasing the French Paprec team through the line in the last race in 7th place, Doug DeVos American Magic team win the world title. Harry Melges becomes the youngest helm ever to win, and Sarah Stone the first ever female navigator.
It's always good to win, and it's really good to win when you feel like you really had to work for it. So it's awesome.
Today was probably the trickiest day of sailing I've ever had, but we came out on top by a point, which is all you can ask for.
Super special. You know, Harry and the guys did an incredible job today. It was a really challenging day. You know, I think we'll look back at this week. I made the comment to Harry on the way in that I have 2 of these events that are more special than the others. And this win, along with the win with Doug.
Paprec are runners-up and the Americans on sled third.
That's a crew, that's a family. That's why we are efficient sometimes. And we were this week.
A little disappointed, obviously. We came here to win, but we didn't. But look, we're happy because it's 2 years in a row we've been on the podium. So good result for sled.
The Italians on Alcedo Vitamina struggle a little bit on the last day, but they finish 5th overall.
You know, we pushed hard, we sailed well, we won some races, and now it's just sort of closing that consistency down. But overall, really proud of what these guys did this week on board. And the job that Andrea did. I mean, we pushed him as hard as we could in some really trying conditions.
ROLEX TP52 World Champions of 2025 are American Magic Quantum Racing, winning on 42, second of the French team Paprec on 43, third are Sled on 51 points, and in fourth, Phoenix on 60 points. Tony Norris of Phoenix, the best owner driver.
And in August, we fight. Yes! Again! With pleasure.